It's Tuesday again and I would like to hang with you lads, but I'm off to listen to the new episode of the Slaven Selection Show. Play now or stay in dark forever.
Not everything has changed, but a lot has. My voice changed. It's been a week now. I think I got my bronchitis is back. Anyways, as I have said, not everything has changed, but a lot has, and it's getting there. You know, it's all about what an elephant can accomplish. To paraphrase my friend, when faced with an army of insects. Alternatively, zerging is the way to go in StarCraft lingo. I recently watched a very interesting video on Ukrainian kamikaze pilot. Darwin is his pen name, and if it weren't true, you would swear you were reading about a bleak future created by William Gibson or someone like that. Well, Transport Canada currently offers drone licenses for Canadian citizens. They probably won't teach you how to strap a grenade to it, but hey, obtaining a license is the first step towards joining the gallant Canadian volunteers of the International Legion, and I highly doubt that anyone will inquire about your registration and license. You should be set to go as long as your flak vest bears your black maple or another emblem, and you're prepared to kamikaze your drone into Russian steel. Those tanks might have been manufactured in Russia, but they will undoubtedly be recycled in Ukraine, as the expression goes. I believe I already mentioned this in one of the previous episodes, but now it's time to refresh your memory. I recall that during the Croatian War of Independence, there was this one brigade level guy who would fly his RV plane over our enemy's position, mainly to confuse them. Not a single camera or grenade. I guess it was a psychological approach. It was entertaining to hear about what they feared on the radio. Okay, so unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, have their origins in the late 1700s. The Montgolfier brothers of France displayed hot air balloons as the first unmanned aircraft in 1783. But the idea of utilizing unmanned aerial vehicles for warfare didn't really take off until the Austrian army used explosive-filled unmanned balloons to attack Venice in 1849, which was the first time UAVs were used for warfare. For the first time, a camera was mounted to an unmanned system when Alfred Nobel launched a rocket equipped with a camera in 1896. And of course, radio-controlled boats were made possible by Nikola Tesla's demonstration of a radio-controlled watercraft in 1898. One of the first instances of aerial imaging being utilized in combat was in 1915, when the British employed aerial reconnaissance photos in the Battle of Neuve-Chapelle. And there is a 1917 when Charles Kettering unmanned aerial torpedo known as the Kettering Bug was the first unmanned aerial vehicle ever constructed as a missile. Then 1935, the Royal Air Force built the Havilland DH-82B Queen Bee, which is regarded as the first modern drone, just for aerial target practice. And 1937 saw the development of the first radio-controlled UAV torpedo, the Curtiss N2C-2 by the U.S. Navy. And 1943, the U.S. Air Force and Boeing developed the BQ-7, and in 1973, Israel created the Mastiff and IAA Scout UAV series for reconnaissance and surveillance. And in 1982, drones were first used extensively in combat at the Battle of Jezzine, which established their validity, and we'll come back to that a little later. In 1986, one of the most successful UAV systems, the RQ-2 Pioneer, was co-developed by the United States and Israel. In 1996, saw the development of the missile-carrying Predator drone, which allowed drones to be militarized and used in combat. The first commercial drone permit was granted by the FAA in 2006, opening the door for civilian drone applications. This timeline illustrates the development of drones from the first unmanned balloons to the most advanced UAVs in use today for both military and non-military purposes. W.J. Clark, general manager of the U.S. Electrical Supply Company, used radio waves for yet another warlike implementation a few months before Tesla's radio control presentation. Using radio waves to wirelessly detonate floating mines, he went on to blow up toy ships. Well, he stole the basic design of his device from Italian inventor Guglielmo Marconi. A radio message from the Marconi station in Glass Bay, Nova Scotia, Canada, was the first in history to go across the Atlantic from North America on December 17, 1902. So, back to Tesla. In 1898, at Madison Square Garden in New York, this famous experiment happened, and without any obvious link, Tesla was able to steer a tiny ship around a pool of water and even turn on and off its running lights with a small radio transmitting control box. Thomas Edison subsequently became associated with the Sims Edison Electrical Torpedo Company, showcasing the benefits of their wire-guided torpedo in 1892. And this brings to mind the Soviet Union's 9M14 Malyutka, a manual command-to-line of sight wire-guided anti-tank guided missile system. Should you believe that grills on tanks are a recent invention? Consider how our bunkers were encircled by nets in 1991 because of Malyutkas. In any case, the purpose of this 31-foot-long gadget, which was meant to defend the harbor by inserting an explosive payload into an invading vessel, was to be operated remotely by an onshore operator and powered by a hardwired tether. Well, in the event that World War Zero was the first instance of modern warfare, then the Battle of Jezzine in 1982 was a turning point in the development of drone warfare, since it was the first instance in which drones were used in a major combat operation and proved to be effective there. Israel used drones for spying and surveillance during this combat between Syrian and Israeli forces in the town of Jezzine, Lebanon. The Israeli forces were able to outmaneuver the Syrian military and win the battle with little casualties, thanks to the drone's crucial intelligence. In particular, an Israeli drone detected Syrian forces passing over the Shelf Mountains on their way to Jezzine. The Israeli Air Force was able to precisely target the Syrian troops before they reached the town thanks to this intelligence. The conflict was changed by the drone's capacity to collect data in real time and offer situational awareness. The Battle of Jezzine proved that drones were a legitimate military tool, and their performance there opened the door for their wider application in upcoming battles. It showed that by offering vital intelligence and boosting the efficiency of military operations, drones might have a big impact on how a conflict turned out. Many people consider the Battle of Jezzine to be a watershed moment in the history of drone warfare because it demonstrated the potential of drones on the contemporary battlefield and signaled the start of their broad use by armed forces worldwide. And the other noteworthy milestone was when U.S. drone strikes killed Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri in Kabul. Al-Zawahiri was one of the perpetrators of the 9/11 attacks that claimed the lives of nearly 3,000 people in New York, the Pentagon, and Pennsylvania. Zawahiri was staying in downtown Kabul as a guest of the Taliban when he was slain in an over-the-horizon operation. In a targeted counter-terrorism operation, 2 Hellfire missiles attacked the residence, and Zawahiri was the sole victim. The drone used in the operation that killed Ayman al-Zawahiri, the leader of Al-Qaeda, was most likely the MQ Reaper drone manufactured by General Atomics. One of the most popular and effective military drones in use is the General Atomics produced MQ-9 Reaper. Important details regarding the Reaper are it's an unmanned aerial vehicle with many missions and weapons that might fly autonomously or under remote control, used extensively for offensive strike missions using precision-guided weapons, surveillance, and reconnaissance by the U.S. Air Force and other countries. Millions of flying hours have been recorded in over 300 units that have been built and adopted by 12 countries. Reaper has a range of more than 1,000 miles, a lengthy endurance up to 27 hours, and the ability to carry a variety of weaponry, including Hellfire missiles. The second drone that is quite popular right now, and I'm pretty sure you know about it, is famous Bayraktar TB2, which is made by the Turkish company Baykar and has been used in a number of recent wars. It's a medium-altitude, long-endurance, armed unmanned aerial vehicle that can fire missiles and bombs directed by lasers. Extensively utilized by Turkey and exported to a number of nations, including Ukraine, which has successfully deployed it to repel Russian forces. And Bayraktar is renowned for its ability to launch precise strikes, sophisticated electronics, and affordable price when compared to other armed drones. Another popular drone that is shipped with weapons is the Winglong 2, which was created by Chengdu Aircraft Corporation in China. It has a maximum payload capacity of 480 kilos for air-to-ground missiles and laser-guided bombs, among other precision-guided weapons. Claimed but unverified to be capable of air-to-air combat. Exported for intelligence, surveillance, and strike missions to nations including Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates. Then, of course, famous DJI Phantom series, which is largely a commercial drone but has seen some military modifications. Then the Altar, Sokol Altius, Russia, the Thai Aksungur from Turkey, and other noteworthy military drones are also discussed here. Like, the search results demonstrate the growing prevalence of and application of armed long and endurance drones worldwide for a range of military applications, with the Reaper, of course, TB2 and Winglong 2 variants now being the most extensively used. And when it comes to Ukraine, like, there's a lot. I don't think I can give you a complete list, because like these guys are just improvising all the time. But typically in Ukrainian combat, drones have been employed extensively. Among them are the Bayraktar, like a TB2 of course, and many commercial drones. Small, inexpensive, and do-it-yourself systems have been widely employed in Ukraine, mostly for targeting, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Then DJI Mavic quadcopters and other tiny drones made up by Chinese companies are popular as well, and these drones are employed for target localization, artillery strike guidance, and even kamikaze attacks on Russian vehicles and soldiers. Military reconnaissance drones, of course, Ukraine uses military-grade reconnaissance drones for target acquisition and intelligence gathering, such as the FlyEye and Furia. And when comparing these drones to commercial models, the endurance and range are greater. When it comes to Russia, Russia conducts surveillance and reconnaissance operation with the Orion and Orlan 10 drones. Precision-guided ammunition can be carried by the male-armed drone Orion. Russia has attacked targets in Ukraine using a lot of disposable kamikaze drones and loitering weapons like the Lancet and, of course, Shahed 136 provided by Iran. You know that thing that sounds like a scooter when flying? Oh yeah, that's funny. Well, from what I understand, the problem with Shahed drones is that, you know, they're really like a cheap to make. So, you know, Iran or Russia, and I don't know about North Korea, but like they can make them in millions, like no problem, even under sanctions, right? So it wouldn't be a comprehensive list if I do not mention at the conclusion two very different and strange drones. One is very small and the other looks like a flying rhino, not a jackal. The Black Hornet is a military micro-unmanned aerial vehicle or nano-drone developed by the Norwegian company Prox Dynamics, which was acquired by Teledyne FLIR in 2016. The Black Hornet is used by 19 NATO allied countries, including UK, US, France, Germany, and it's designed for AI integration and reduced cognitive burden on soldiers. The Black Hornet provides squad-level reconnaissance and situational awareness with its small size, covert operation capabilities, and ability to navigate GPS-denied environments. It continues to be adopted by military forces globally for its unique nano UAV capabilities. Yeah, that thing is amazing. It's like it's so small, it's scary, and it's actually like a helicopter, not a quad, right? And I guess it can enter like the tiniest hole, like just for for recon, right? And then a Jackal, not the prettiest drone ever, but you know what? If it works, that's fine. A key role in the future unmanned air force concept for advanced combat operations is anticipated for Jackal modular vertical takeoff and landing, or VTOL drone. The unmanned aerial vehicle trainer flyby technology located in the UK collaborated with Turkish partners Fly Bevlos Technology, an aviation consultant, and Maxwell Innovations, a manufacturer of aviation components, to design and develop the drone. The drone is expected to offer adaptable capabilities for a range of combat operations on land, sea, and in the air. And these operations may include air interdiction from the battlefield, close air support, helicopter engagement in mid-air, tank destruction, logistic delivery, and blocking enemy use of runways and highways. Well, Royal Air Force loves it, and Taiwan will buy a lot from what I know. Okay, Canada, Royal Canadian Air Force, what are we waiting for? So, how to, there's this question, like nothing is really effective when it comes to drones. Nowadays, there's not much that can be done to stop drones. The previous craze involved using jammer weapons, which proved to be somehow ineffective, and more lately, tactical shotguns have been popular. I don't know if I would feel safe like with my Frankie or Spas 12 or whatever, like on the battlefield, like if I see a drone coming. That's like waiting for a shark, like to come so you can punch it in the nose. Like that's Chuck Norris level. So these are not very efficient and would probably work better in serious SAM, not on the actual battlefield. Certain rockets are powerful but quite expensive, particularly if you compare them to the low-cost commercial drones made in China. For the time being, the only reasonably priced defense against drones is actually Australian Slinger, produced by Reliable Electro-Optic Systems. Australia is the country that came up with this sophisticated technology, which is not surprising given that their nearest possible enemy can easily build drones in the millions. Guys, let me tell you something. China is far more interested in the Great Down Under's exceptional geostrategic location than it is in Taiwan. So, the world's most precise and accurate remote weapon systems are designed, developed, and constructed by EOS. For almost 40 years, EOS has created, produced, and exported cutting-edge technological systems. They offer counter-drone systems, turrets, high-energy laser weapons, satellite communication terminals, space intelligence and control products and services, and remote weapon systems. Slinger is based on the EOS R400 RCWS model, not a cannon, not a camera, no. It's equipped with the Bushmaster M230 LF 30mm autocannon, which is an upgraded and more capable version of the M230 30mm chain gun used on the famous Apache attack helicopter. So it's fully stabilized for on-the-move operation, and it has selectable rates of fire. Single shot, 100 RPM or 200 RPM, and it carries 150 rounds of 30mm proximity fuse high explosive fragmentation ammunition, and also has a coaxial Mag-58 machine gun. The sensors are Echodyne EchoGuard 4D multi-mission radar for drone detection up to 1.4 kilometer. There's a day camera and thermal imager for identification of 12 to 13.7 kilometer range, and is equipped with the wind sensor for accurate targeting. Slinger is operated via joystick from inside a vehicle, and it automatically aims and tracks targets, and operator allows firing. It is designed for urban environments due to specialized ammunition. And low cost, there's a really low cost per engagement. It's anything in between $150 and $1,500 versus hundreds of thousands for missiles. 160 Slingers are ordered by Ukraine in 2023 for defense. 110 of them mounted on M113 APCs and 50 integrated on Praktica 4x4 AMRAPs. Contracts are worth 9 million euros for Deal Defense Germany in 2024 for integration on 4x4 platforms. The Slinger provides an affordable counter-drone capability by utilizing advanced sensors and specialized ammunition, making it suitable for both military and urban operations against small drone threats. It is advisable for Canada to consider buying supplies from the other side of the Commonwealth. Rochelle trucks would look fantastic with Slingers. I really love how you can select fire rate on Slinger. Nice to have that option, and as always, stay selective. Bye bye.